All right, let me maximize the screen a little bit here. If I can. All right. All right, so here today on today's video, I'm walking you through Claude Design. And I want to walk you through something I get asked a lot of questions about, and that is, hey, can I build an insurance proposal with Claude? I'm going to show you exactly how you could do that today. I'm going to show you potentially how you could put it into your CRM. I'm going to show you even how you could put it in your PandaDoc, how to connect your PandaDoc if you're using something like a PandaDoc. So let's go ahead and get started here. So the first thing you want to do when you're setting up your Claude design, go to Design Systems. You go to Set Up Design System, and here I'm going to go to Create here. Now you could create using Claude, but let's go to Create here. And this is where I'm going to put my brand assets, like my logos and all these different things. So let me go ahead and upload a file here. Well, if it's there, let's see. Here we go. Let's see, downloads. I have to go back and re-download it. Let me go to my Google Drive real quick. Let's see. Go to brand. Let's go to download. All right, now let's go here. Let's see if it'll let me upload this. No, let's see what kind of file we have to put in here. Actually, let me see if it'll do this. Watch. Downloads. All right, so I got my brand guidelines right here, and I'm going to go to this. Let's see. Now let's go up here to continue generation. This is going to take about 5 minutes to generate our design system. Look, this is important, very important for any brand. If you've never done this, and look, I spent thousands of dollars doing this about 5 years ago when I built our brand assets and redid our logo for the Flood Insurance Guru. I spent thousands of dollars. So I hired story brand coaches to help me. I hired a story brand coach to help me with my logos and all these different things. Things that cost thousands of dollars years ago can basically be done for free now. In fact, we build these brand style guidelines. Anytime we take on a new client and they don't have one of the first things we do is we go and help build one of these brand guidelines. One thing is we use them for press releases, socials, all these different things so that we can have brand consistency. We want people to think a certain way about certain brands when we're putting different things out there. Certain colors that associate things in people's brains, understanding how people think. So these things are all really important. It also creates consistency. Maybe you got someone who's doing video editing. You got someone who's working on thumbnails, images. You can create that consistency across that brand. So your brand always looks kind of clean. People remember they associate the colors with it and all these different things. So no matter who you are, everybody should have a brand style guideline. Look, if you don't have one, I will put in our private community the standard operating procedure for actually building one step by step where you can take this, put into Claude, and it can help you build it. Now, is it going to get you 100% there? No. but it's probably going to get you about 80% there. Is it there in the logos yet? No. I might still hire somebody to help me with a logo, but from a brand color standpoint, fonts, things like this, I will actually upload my own brand style guide that I spent thousands of dollars having built a few years ago as a guide for people. So I will go ahead and put that in here. I will also put that into our trusted community. If you're in our trust building community, you'll also get access in there to that brand style guidelines and how to build that standard operating procedure as well as we kind of go through that. Now, as we're sitting here waiting for create this design system, I said the whole point of this is going to have our brand. It's going to have our colors and all these different things. It's going to be able to go in here and build these things for us. And so hopefully, it's getting there. It's almost there when it pulls up now. When we have this and we go to build this proposal, the proposal should look super clean because it's built for our brand. In fact, I'm going to pull in one of our current proposals from PandaDoc once we're done with this, and I'm going to have it improve that proposal. I'm going to have it, show me some different ways. And when it's done, I'm going to take that PDF, make sure it's done as a Word doc or just as a doc in general, and have it put in the PandaDoc. Because one of the challenges that people have with PandaDoc, I built this awesome proposal, but I can't get it to work. That's because people are uploading as a PDF. When we do that, PandaDoc sometimes is seen as an image. You can't really make the adjustments you need to. So as a result, it needs to be a doc file where you can have it where certain fields are imported, like customer's first name, last name, maybe total premium, all these different things. So whether you're using PandaDoc, DocuSign, whatever it is. Now, the reason I say PandaDoc is because you can actually build your own proposal system with PandaDoc. Look, there's another good company called Quiller, Qwilr, out of Australia that I've used for years now. Both really good. Quiller charges per user on HubSpot. PandaDoc, you might be able to get away with a shared account. So maybe on the differences there. Now, one of the things I don't like with PandaDoc sometimes is it feels like it's just stuck in like 1980. I don't feel that it's clean, it's up to date. One of the things I love about Quiller is that it's more website based. It feels more URL based. So I do use it a lot for proposals on our marketing side inside Quiller. Now, HubSpot's getting to a point now, I think, where soon they'll be able to do this on quotes, proposals, and all these different things. But those are just two options. I'll put links to both of those in there. Look, I don't have any kind of affiliate deal with either one of these. I'm not getting paid by either one of these companies. These are just things I've done with experience over time. So let's just see, give this just a few more minutes. But I just want you to think about that when you're building out your insurance proposals, and whether you're using an agency Zoom, a HubSpot, a Go High Level, whatever it is, you do want to make sure you've got something connected that's pulling these proposals, that's telling you when people are opening these proposals, when they're viewing them, because that could be your max time to reach out to them. So the other thing you want to make sure is when you build this too, remember, we don't want to be sending out insurance carrier proposals. And we recently saw this it's just a situation with travelers with a billing issue. And a lot of agents were getting upset because customers were so upset with them. They didn't really have any control over it. But what a lot of people don't realize is we brand ourselves sometimes so close to some of these insurance companies that people think we work for the insurance company. So we don't do a good job of kind of separating our brand from the insurance company, helping people understand we are an independent insurance agent or we are independent from that company. And you want to take care of that on the front end as you're onboarding a customer. You're making sure that you're an independent agent. You work for them. You don't work for a particular company if you're an independent agent who's watching this video. So we want to just think about that. We want to avoid sending out insurance carrier proposals as much as possible. Now, I understand sometimes there's just no way. We have to. The way systems are done and all these different things. But if we can use our own brand as much as we can there, we're going to win trust more with clients. And that's exactly what things like this Claude system, where we build this right proposal, we put it into the system right way. We're reaching out to them, knowing when they're opening it, when they're viewing it. We're putting frequently asked questions into the proposal based on questions we're getting asked through the sales process because we're reviewing their CRM data, understanding what people are asking. So we're doing what's called vanguarding. That means we're addressing an issue before there is an issue. So the customer almost feels like we're reading their mind. And as they go through this process and they feel that way, we're building trust with them. So when they get to the end of what I call the yellow brick road, when they make a decision to work with you, it's a no-brainer for them because of how you've built the trust. I call that trust stacking. However, if we don't do things the right way, we can lose trust through this process. For example, My customers having to go back and forth asking us 30 questions or emails. They can't get us on the phone. Uh, these are all things that can lose trust. I know we just lost a client because she didn't like that we didn't respond quick enough on the phone. And that was probably our fault that we didn't set the right expectation. But when we're setting the right expectation, we can build trust because we've been transparent and upfront of what that process is going to look like. So let's see if this is ready yet. As I said, it should be coming up on its time. The other thing you can do here, when this is ready, you can also share this to a PowerPoint, more formats and apps, a standalone HTML, all these things. Those are ways that you can share it there. As I said, I'm just waiting for this tab to continue. And as soon as we get this design system back, we're going to kind of know, kind of work. Go and work on something else when it's doing this. Come back, check it. Just make sure to leave this tab open when you're doing your design system with Claude. All right, design has gotten our branding here. It's looked at some different things. Like this is kind of what a website would look like. So this is kind of what design, it's going through and kind of looking at the sites. Once again, let's go over here to share. I want to share you something. So once again, you could share this to a workspace where you can share it with somebody. You could turn it into a PDF, standalone HTML. Like if I wanted to build a whole page in here and I wanted to go to WordPress and build it as an HTML, I could do it as a PowerPoint. Let's go to more formats and apps. I could put it in Claude Code. Projects, PNG, a printable via Claude, all these things. And so this is kind of what it would look like. Now, this is design system, right? Let's get out of the design system now. This is the design system we're in. It's got, this is what it came back with. All these different things. And look, as we continue to put these things in here, we can continue to put files in here. It's looked at my website. Let's see. It's done a pretty good job. It has all these different things in here. So now we have this in Claude Design. So now let's go back up here. We've created a design system. And we can move over to our different models now if we wanted to in Claude here. We're in Fable 5. Let me go over to PandaDoc real quick. Oops. Wrong login there, Pete. Oh man, keeps doing it. All right, let's see if this will let us in now. All right, so on the left-hand side, we're going to go over here to the templates that we've already got built. And let's see. Let's just go ahead and search. So we got this right here built. Let me download it. Let's see if it'll let me download it. Here we go, download it. I'm just going to download it as a PDF. And then I'm going to go back over to Claude now. I'm going to upload it here. I'm going to tell it as it's there. All right, so we've got that in there. As I said, it's working on that. You can kind of see where we're going to kind of go from here. So we're right here in Claude Design as I've pulled it up. The design system's built. So actually, let me go here and do what I just did. Let's improve this flood insurance proposal that follows a story brand framework throughout. Keep it clean, keep it on point with the brand, but make it extremely clear with clarity of what the customer should do, how to understand different flood risks, the flood insurance options. Make sure I put that file in there. So it's using that design system. It's using the proposal I just gave it. So look, I could potentially probably have multiple design systems here. And on the back end, you kind of see how it's working on things a little bit. And it's building it kind of like a website. And you see where it says deal purchasing address. This is going to be a custom property that I'm going to put in through HubSpot. So as it's a doc file, I'll be able to go in and push these different things throughout. I do kind of like how it talks about, the different experience here without the right policy, with the right policy, all these different things, how it's confirming the details, the flood risk information. And look, I might put this in here and kind of test it against this other one and do an A/B test with our clients to see. Right here with the flood zone. And we can talk about what the different flood zones means. So this may actually be a cleaner option here. As you see, now look, this is just the first edition. I might go back and forth with this thing a lot, as we talk. And look, I like to use something called Whisper Flow, which is another AI tool that you can check out. It's WHISPR AI, I think. And I'll put a link down in the video here in the bottom that you can go and check that out. I've been using it, but basically what I do is I hold a button down, I speak, it kind of clarifies what I'm trying to do here and all these different things. Now let's look at what this is built. You can see all the properties it's put in here, like deal, first name. These are things I have built out on HubSpot. It's looked at very similar to my things. And you can see the different deals, how it's done this. So I choose my quote. So what I may do is, let's go to this. I want Well, I can get to it. Yeah. Let's see, it'll let me miss. Let's see if we can go back in here now. We can look at. Now let's kind of see what it does here as it improves that. Let's see. And you see right here on the left hand side where it's telling me how it's reading it all. So it's going to build that. And once it has that ready, what we're going to do is we're going to save it. I'm going to show you how to connect PandaDoc to your Claude. And then how to potentially take these files and create them as doc files in PandaDoc. So they're pretty smooth templates. So let's see how long this takes to update for me. Because the challenge with PandaDoc is I don't know if the way links are, sometimes the links are done in there, you can't jump different sections. That's the kind of challenging part with PandaDoc sometimes. And that's why something like Quiller actually does a better job of. See, like right up here at the top, I like how you can jump straight to the quotes. So let's see if it works. It's not ready yet, but right here, I probably have a video for me. That's how I build proposals. I always have that video embedded in there. And I know when people are watching that video and then when they're consuming that video, yeah, definitely want to have that contact information in there. The flood zone, what it means, like we've gone through before. I think this is a pretty good proposal. And it tells me what the flood zone is here. It tells me typically what the different zones are here. The private one should come up here in just a second. Now let's go back to the top and see if it takes to it. Yeah, takes me to it. Let's see my two quotes. Takes me to it. See, I want the call to action throughout the proposal. So if someone's like, oh, I don't want to waste my time with all this information, they can go straight to it. Typically, what I do is I like to have it up there multiple times. And then at the end of the proposal, of course, I need to have the 3-step plan. Let's even put it right here. Let's see. But for the sake of time, I'm going to go and, actually, let's see, I can get it right here. So I can actually go in and edit. Like if I wanted to go right here, I could edit, for example. See, I could take out the dashes and things. But what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it as a PDF. I'm going to save it. Sorry. Try to share this one more time. All right, here we go. We're going to save this. Now we're going to go back over to our regular Claude. I don't want design. I'm going to hit save on there. Let's go to Fable 5. Let's see. I got to exit out of this real quick. Here we go. Now I'm going to go down here. I'm looking for connectors. Settings. The connections here. So you can see some different things I've already got connected in here. I'm actually going to go ahead and connect this in my GitHub. I'm going to go to Browse Connectors. I'm going to go to Panda. I'm going to go right here. Sometimes Claude can kind of get it kind of funny on you here. Here we go. Allow access. Authorize. So we've got that connected. So let's go over here to skills now. We go to plugins, we go to the directory and all that stuff here. But now I want to go to my account. Here we go. Now, we're going to kind of see what it can do here for us. Now remember, Claude can do a lot of the heavy lifting for us. So we've kind of done design. Now we're moving to the stage with connectors, where we have PandaDoc connected with Claude, and Claude's going in and trying to do some of the work. Now we're going to see how it does with the tokens. And by tokens, what we mean is like these custom fields we're putting in here. We're not talking about the tokens in actual Claude. That's what usually your CRM and all these different things, they call them tokens as they put them in there. And we're going to see what it can do with this. And when we're done with all this, if you're in our private community, I'm going to be putting together a standard operating procedure on how you can do this with your CRM, PandaDoc, design, step by step, all these things. All right, now let's see what it did in PandaDoc. Let's go to the top. You see it didn't put the image in here. It put the details in here for this Jordan Miller, whoever this, this make-believe person is. And it put some of the stuff in here. You see the background's way too white for me. This is where the concerns with PandaDoc can be. It's so basic sometimes that you can't really get proposals where you want them. That's why I like something like Quiller, QWILR, because it's got anchor text where you can link back and forth. But as you can see, the lineup, the page, nothing looked like it should. But I do think that this is a good starting point at least. But yeah, it's very challenging in PandaDoc. So this is how it ends up. This is how you kind of go into Claude Design. You set up your design system. You build your proposal. You put it potentially in something PandaDoc. You connect your PandaDoc, whatever that is, to really help you with these things. Because you saw how fast it did create this template that while the template's not there yet, a lot of the heavy lifting is done. So this could save you and your team a ton of time. So I hope this video has brought you value. And if it has, do me a favor, hit share, subscribe, like the channel below. Thank you.